It's been a while since I did one of these talky videos, and it's also been ages that I did anything My Little Pony related. But hello everyone, my name is Duncan, and I want to do a small helpful tutorial about how to make a good MLP next-gen OC. I might get some people coming out of the woodwork to go all like, OMG, you're a Roblox YouTuber. How is a Roblox YouTuber gonna preach to me about making a good MLP OC when one of their videos are off Roblox? All I can say to that is, I'm also an artist that specializes in making adopts, and one of these adopts so happened to be My Little Pony Next Gen. But what are MLP Next Gens? A My Little Pony Next Gen is a fan child or offspring of one of the canon characters of the show. One of the most popular MLB shifts I think getting next gens are Twilight X Flash Sentry, Pinkie Pie X G Sandwich, and Applejack X Caramel. The artists who made their fan child will also come up with their own lore for the child or the world that the child is born in. One of the people that did something like this is Lapodity and Deanna Mai. I've seen other artists try to copy the formula and even got inspired to make their own MLP next gens. But some of these next gens I'm just gonna be nice and say not so good. And I think this seems like a good opportunity to include a disclaimer before I pop off and speak at all. Please don't send hate to those who make My Little Pony next gens like this. And please do not feel discouraged from my video or harass me either. My video is not made to push anyone down. It is simply criticism. You don't need to accept it or listen to my advice. You can make your next gens however you like. Anyway, so most MLP next gens I see end up making a couple of common mistakes, and I'll explain what mistakes these people make. Mistake number 1. The next gens end up looking like the fusion of the parent. This is one of the common mistakes I see when it comes to people deciding next gens. I end up seeing way too many FlashLight or Cheese Pie next gens that just look like a fusion between the parents rather than the offspring of the parents. Like, hell, they literally look like the result of the parents doing a fusion dance like they are in Steven Universe or Dragon Ball or whatever. You'll literally see FlashLight next gens with spots that are literally just the same coat color as Twilight or Flash. The OC ends up having heterochromia that just looks god awful on them. Heterochromia can work, but not like that. Or the OC will end up having a mane tail that looks a lot like Twilight and Flash Sentry, but fuse. Same with the cutie marks. The cutie marks end up just being a fusion between Twilight Sparkles and Flash Sentries rather than something unique or original. Marks are meant to be unique, not the same. Ignore them, ignore them, ignore them. Mistake number 2. Mixing the parents' colours without any variation. Another classic mistake that first-time MLP next geners do. And it's also quite a gamble because there's a chance you may get a good result or just end up getting a bad one or something that looks way too similar to someone else's next gen OC. And then you end up in drama over it. So yeah, don't just mix the parents' coat and main colours unless you want to end up getting it to be with Flashy Twi Flash 24. That is obviously not a real MLP artist. Please don't go looking them up or start a fight if you find someone that has the same user who so happen to have made a FlashLight next gen OC. But then comes the Lord Twi Flash fan 919, a long-time DeviantArt user. No, they are not, again, not a real artist, who also has a design that looks like Flashy's OC. And they all start getting into an argument over a misunderstanding. Anyways, let's move on to mistake number 3. The pony is literally just a failed clone of one of the parents, and what do I mean by that? Well, from their special talent to their personality, the child is literally just Twilight Sparkle or Flash Sentry. I've seen it a lot in the MLP Next Gen side of DeviantArt. Like, we'll have one person having a FlashLight kid that is either a guard like Flash Sentry or has the same trying to learn about what friendship means like Twilight Sparkle back when she was a unicorn before the show made her into a alicorn. Of course, I'm not saying you can't have your next gen OC be a guard or princess or whatever, but if your next gen OC looks the same like everybody else's Y Sentry OC, then it's no longer unique and it just ends up being lost in the sea of other FlashLight clones. Now, how do you fix these mistakes, you may ask? It's simple, really, and it's called genetics. Most people don't seem to realize this, but genetics can be passed down from ancestors, just as, for example, siblings, grandparents, etc. You don't need to give a FlashLight child the exact same colors as the parents. Get creative. Don't be shy to mix colors from Twilight's mum to make something unique. But Duncan, what if I'm working on a Lyrabond ship child? Those who don't have any parents or confirmed siblings, my remedy for that is headcanon. You can select some ponies from the background of the show, or the MLP Wikipedia, and just use them as either their parents or siblings. Or hell, you can take that opportunity to make OCs to fill the role as their family. I think in my old Next Gen universe, I made Queen Chrysalis the mother of Luster Dawn, because I had a universe where Luster Dawn was the changeling daughter to Chrysalis, and that the unicorn form you see in the show is actually her disguise, but I can't really find it anymore. Also, do not be shy about making your Next Gen OC have a different mane and tail to the parent. The mane and tail should be unique to avoid them looking like a fusion between the parents. You can even borrow genetics and have the mane style similar to Twilight's brother, but of course not too similar. And don't be afraid to add flaws to your character. Like, yeah, it may be nice and charming to have an OC who is perfect and amazing and all that, but you need to balance it. Both personality and appearance rise. And speaking of which, don't be scared to give your character a unique talent or cutie mark. Like, maybe instead of your FlashLight OC being a guard like Flash Sentry, maybe their special talent can be aerial maneuvers, or maybe it can be gardening. Up to you to decide. And here's the result of my own Next Gen that I made. And yeah, it isn't a FlashLight ship child, it's a Pinky sandwich. As you can tell, I had color picked from Pinky's family to get the coat colors right, and I went with a peanut butter and chocolate theme for the mane and tail. I imagined that her special talent would be art and crafts rather than baking or throwing parties like her parents. I had trouble deciding the cutie mark as seen in the video, and I imagined that her name would be Reese's or Peanut Butter Cup. However, that's up to you guys to decide, because I'm planning on selling her on my DeviantArt and Ko-Fi account anyways, if you guys are interested in buying her. But that's the end of my video. I do hope my tips were really helpful, and if you do enjoy this video, please feel free to like it and maybe even subscribe to my channel. Or you can support me by being a channel member, donating to my Ko-Fi, or even buy my merch from Redbubble and ACG Goods. And if this video reached 1.5k views, I might do a video talking about how to make a dots or something. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you again soon. Goodbye.
$100% pure fish.